Hey everybody, I'm Sophia Parola with Garden State Film Festival, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing the people behind the making of the TV show, How Am I Doing? It's so great to have you guys here today, and I get to talk to you guys about how you made this show. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. So first off, I'd love for you both just to introduce yourself and the title in this show. And I'd love to start off with you, Ken.
Sure. My name is Ken Pearlstein, and I'm the writer, creator, and co-star of the show How Am I Doing?
Awesome. Congrats to you, Ken. Thank you so much. And the beautiful Jen.
I'm Jen Fotsky, and I am the producer on How Am I Doing?
Awesome. And I have to congratulate you, Jen, because this is the second time we've interviewed you, because you also produced Hotline, which was also accepted into Garden State. So congratulations on having not one, but two things accepted into Garden State. And I also have to congratulate you, Ken. I mean, you're wearing multiple hats. You created this show, you starred in the show, you wrote this show. Yeah, now you're wearing one hat, but I mean, you wore like three hats.
I give a shout out to Marshall University.
No, it's so awesome. Ken, I'd love for you to explain to everyone just what the show is about. Just a little synopsis.
You know, it's the short form is it's about second chances, and it's in hindsight, it's just about the second chances this guy has as a single father. You know, trying to accept that, as well as his recovery, staying sober, which is a very difficult thing to do. You know, I'm not shy. I've, you have over 23 years of it. And so it's this, so part of it, a good part of this pilot I got from sort of my own experiences, as well as other people I know and their experiences with it. So yeah, that's basically what it's about.
Thank you. I mean, and that's one of the things I love about films and art in general is just people sharing their own experiences, but as you said, other people's as well. And there's so much I related to in the show. And I'm obviously not, I don't relate that much to a man and, I don't want to give too much away, but there's so much I relate to this main character. I'd love to ask you, Ken, just how long did it take you to write this? What was your inspirations? What was the process of creating the show?
So this was basically the second thing I've ever written. The first thing I ever wrote, the first script I ever wrote was a 15-minute film called January, and it was in a 48-hour film festival over 4 years ago. So a lot of people like the writing, they like the film. It was a lot heavier than this one in some aspects. So they said you should write. So I started writing a bunch of other little projects. I had a lot to learn as a writer. And one day I decided to, pick a mentor, a guy named Nick Job, who moved to LA, somebody who knew me and was privately teaching script writing a little bit. So he worked with me. We got to about 35 pages. And he moved to LA. But he really pushed me. He challenged me on, building the stakes in each scene, really coming out with the characters. And he really enjoyed what I was coming up with. So he left for LA, and I just kept writing. I passed it along to one of my best friends, Julie Hayes, who plays another character in it, who I won't give away. And she was great. She's usually very blunt. But she loved it. And she met me, printed out the whole thing. She's like, you need to keep going with this. Gave me a few other pointers with arcs. And she said, keep going. So the first reading I had, this is pre-gen, I had 72 pages for the first reading. We had 50 people in my apartment, 18 actors. And we just let it rip. I didn't know anything about the production aspect or about writing a pilot, but people loved it. And they said, this needs to be shot. So you learn, another, couple of directors later and a couple of producers later. I'm just giving you the short form. It was kind of in limbo. I was keeping it alive on social media. I didn't give up hope on it, but I knew Jen as somebody who gets stuff done. She's a friend. She's an extremely talented actress. And obviously with the amount of projects she has going on right now, I mean, she's like a one-legged person in a butt kicking contest right now. But I told her, I said, I need your help. I really need your help. You read the script, you liked it. She came aboard. It was 52 pages by that time. So it was solid 52 pages. From there, we another actress in it recommended Colleen Davie James to direct. I didn't want to shoot a sizzle reel. You know, people say, why don't you just shoot a sizzle? And no, I want to work. The other thing was that I wanted to shoot the entire thing, but I also wanted to make sure all my actors got paid, no matter what. And I would wait till hell from high water, you know, till I was able to pay them. And Colleen took a look at it. She goes, I love it. We can make it a half hour. And you'll have a second episode ready to go. So that's what we did. And we did several readings, rewrites, you know, so this is how it came about.
Wow. Wow. I mean, a lot obviously went into that. And that is so inspiring, the journey that you just told me, and that this is only really the second piece that you've written, and then you've never written a pilot before. That's just like, it's really inspiring for me. And I'm sure for anyone, that is just so amazing. And I can tell just by your sense of humor and the way you are, that you put a lot of yourself into the writing, and you could really feel that watching the show, just the natural and the comedic aspect. And I think that's so amazing how that came about.
Thank you. Thank you. I gave you the short version.
I could tell. I can tell. It sounds like a lot went into it and a lot of time, and I appreciate that. And I love that you mentioned how you came across Jen too. My next question is for you, Jen. I mean, yeah, what really made you want to produce this show in particular? What really struck your attention, and what goes into producing a TV pilot?
Well, initially I knew Ken before, and we were friends, and, you know, sort of traveled in a lot of the same circles. And so when he approached me, I read it, and, you know, everything that he kind of just said was very true and very evident in the script. It's like, you can tell there's so much of Ken, there's so much heart, there's so much depth, and so, but also so much comedy. And that really struck me when I read it, was there were all of these sort of peaks and valleys, and I just thought it was a great story. And so, you know, when we set out to produce it, we were really careful about, you know, who we put on the team. Ken already had some actors in place, and Colleen and I both knew all of these actors and were on board with them, and they all did a beautiful job. And that really became sort of this formula for the shoot and the production as a whole. It was just, you know, everyone was just sort of in love with the story and in love with the process, and everybody just, you know, it was a really seamless shoot. Everyone brought their A games. Everyone had such a great time because everyone was just so into the project and making it what it is. It was great.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And I mean, as you said, there were phenomenal actors in there. So many that I saw their familiar faces. Yeah. I thought it was so cool that you guys just had an amazingly group of talented people, and not only the actors talented, but each character in it. I mean, you could relate to something. Everyone stands on their own. I really commend you for that. That was just so amazing. I know this was just a TV pilot we're getting to see, but you originally said, 72 pages originally, and then down to 50, and then now it's down to this 30-minute. What are you looking to do next with this show? What are you guys planning for the future?
Go ahead, Jen.
Okay. Well, you know, the original, you know, entire story that Ken had, we sort of, you know, extrapolated the pilot from that, and so the rest of that story still exists. So now we're working at, Ken has episode 2 written, and we have the story arc for the rest of the season. So, you know, based on what he had previously written. So now, yeah, after this, we're looking to produce the full season and see where that takes us.
Yeah, right now I'm actually, I went through the original 72-page pilot the past week, and I actually pulled a scene that went at the very end of it originally, and started writing a whole other scene for another actor, for my character to meet in a Starbucks. And, you know, actors get together, they meet for coffee, and, you know, so yeah, he hasn't seen this guy in a long time. This guy's a big deal. So now, and yes, I've started writing that interaction right now. I'm excited about it.
That does sound so exciting. And I mean, I have a really important question to ask lastly when we wrap up the interview, but really quick, I'm really curious for myself. Ken, what is your writing process? Like, especially for writing the next episodes that come, do you write like a scene that you just have in your head and then you write that, or is it kind of one episode after another? What's that process like?
Like I said, I've been learning quite a bit. So as I go along, and I guess my process, it's sort of, sometimes it's chronological and in order, and other times, like recently, pulling another scene from the very end of the original piece, which before took place in a casting office with the same character. Now it's going to take place in a coffee shop. So I just sort of I think back to meeting other people in the same situation. The other thing I do is, for instance, Samara Conley. She plays my daughter Becca. She's phenomenal.
Amazing, by the way. Yes. Yeah.
So even before the first shoot, even before our shoot for episode 1, I had an idea of where I wanted us to go together, in the pilot, and especially in one particular scene. But of course, I have an almost 8-year-old son, but I don't have a 11, 12, 13-year-old daughter. So we got together. Her parents, they were in a city. They came over to my place. I opened up my computer and we improvised. I said, so here's where we are. Here's what we're doing. How would you say this to me? Let's say, and then I did the same thing in the second episode, in another scene with her. I said, this is where I think it would go. Maybe you might not take this action. And she said, I would absolutely do that. And for an hour and a half, we were just zinging them off each other and improvising. And I was just able to completely get her voice and still have my idea down. And I think that's important. I'm not afraid to improvise. I improvised with another actress who's, in the second episode recently. So yeah, I think it's for me, that's, some people don't do that. Some writers don't. I'm an actor, and that's the way I process this. That's the way I come at this with the writing is, why don't we improvise an idea and see where it takes us and then write from there? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's so awesome. I love hearing about that writing process. And also, I mean, as an actress as well, and it's just how amazing is that, being able to be on set and then you can have your own power, like, oh, I was a part of writing this, and it feels very close to me and I feel empowered in what I'm saying. And I think that's what makes the show so great to watch, that it feels very natural and it feels very fun and it feels very freeing in a way. And I think a lot of that, what you just said, has to do with that.
Definitely.
You have to have a good team. You have to have a really good team. And I think 2 weeks before shoot, I had a meeting with Colleen and Jen, and they said, at this point, we need you to step back from your production hat. We need to take off your production hat. It was a little come to Jesus moment. It's like, you're just going to sign the checks. That's all you're going to do on set. Just sign the checks. I'll give them to you. You just sign them. But we need you to be an actor on a set. We need you to be an actor now. And suddenly I'm like, oh my God, I got to memorize my lines. Why did I write something? But it was great. And both of them just made this process, and still, when we were shooting in my apartment, sometimes there's situations where someone's like, hey, I hate to bother you on the set, but do you have a plunger? Like just little things. It's like, so, but they made the process smooth and easy. And, go ahead, Jen.
No, nothing. Just commenting on the plunger.
Was that you, Jen? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
No, but luckily as the producer, I got to be the problem solver. So.
Oh man, the many responsibilities of a producer.
Right.
Oh my. I mean, that's just so amazing, guys. Before we wrap up, I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm sure we could talk all day because it's just so amazing hearing your point. I mean, and Ken, I love that you just mentioned how you had to jump from actor to writer to like the person who signed the check. I mean, that's just, you don't realize how much goes into that, especially when you have like 4 different titles. It's just, so that's amazing. Congratulations to you both for just making it look so smooth. And I'm sure it took so much time. And I just love that I get to talk to you guys about that behind the scenes process. But before we end, I really want to know, Ken and Jen, both of you, Ken and Jen, what what does it mean having How Am I Doing premiere at Garden State? Why did you want to submit this show to Garden State Film Festival? And like, what do you hope the audience can get out of watching the show? Jen, or whoever's ready, Ken, who wants to go?
Sure, why don't you start off?
Jen, yes.
Well, we spoke the other day, and of course I have another film here. And last year I had 2 films screen at Garden State as well. And that was my first year here, but I had known about it for a long time. And I know, a lot of people that have had films here, and everyone always has raved about it. And after last year, even though it was virtual, it was still just phenomenal. Just like, wonderful staff. And you can tell at a film festival when the staff really champions filmmakers, and that's very, very evident with Garden State. And so I just love it. And I'm a Jersey girl, there was no getting around it. And in terms of how am I doing, I really think, Sophia, you mentioned sort of earlier that you could really relate to it. And I think that is the beauty of How Am I Doing, that despite if you can't actually relate with a certain storyline or a character, there's something in there that relates to everyone. And I think that's huge kudos to Ken for creating something that had that in it.
Absolutely. I completely agree, Jen. Thank you. I love hearing you talk about Garden State and how much it means to you. And I congratulate you again. I mean, I didn't know last year you got 2, this year you got 2. I mean, you're killing it. I love seeing your
Thank you.
Congratulations.
If you film at a festival, look, if you want to film in a festival, just give it to Jen.
Put more on her plate.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. And Ken, I'd love, just take us away. What does it mean having this show that you created, put so much of yourself, so much time, so much creativity into? What does it mean having it at Garden State?
It's amazing to me, and the reputation of this film festival precedes you. I mean, it's a fantastic film festival. I've heard about it for a long time, and to finally be involved with it, to finally have a project that's in it, it's a great feeling. It's an honor just to have it on a screen, even if it's virtual. I want it to touch people. And that's what I get a lot. People's, they can relate to the auditions, to the certain parts in it, all of it, the human aspect, the struggle, the recovery. So it's important to me. It means a lot when someone's like, I really related to it. Thank you. It spoke to me.
No, absolutely. I know that it's going to speak to people who see this. It spoke to me. And as I was saying, even though I'm not like a spitting image of this lead who I'm relating to, so many aspects of it, so much of what he's going through, and amazing, not only writing that, but I mean, being an actor in this. I mean, you were so natural. And so I'm no professional to be like critiquing, but I really have to just say, like, you could just feel it's so honest and genuine. I think that has so much to do with why it was relatable.
I appreciate
honestly.
it. Thank you.
Congratulations again, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I'm sorry, I keep cutting everyone off. Zoom is I'm so sorry. I really apologize. I wish we could be in person. I just want to tell everyone how you can see.
All good.
Yes, we can see How Am I Doing. It will be premiering virtually, so you could be anywhere, just chilling at home. It'll be premiering virtually at the Mayfair venue, Sunday, the 28th, in the Film Block, 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So I really hope people take the time to watch this and can feel that creativity and time and love you guys really put into the making of this.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much. Congratulations. Keep Garden State on your mind and always submitting in the future.
I'm Eli. I'm an alcoholic.
Hello, Eli. Nice for you to show up for your daughter's event.
Fuck off. I'm an actor and I mainly work in TV and film.
Eli and that mouth of his seems to be a problem, among other things.
Nick.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was still drunk from the night before.
Are you in anything now?
Well, sometimes a show closes and you just move on to the next. It's part of the business.
I see. He's not in anything at all.
I can identify with being lost. Making the wrong choices and knowing it. What a prick. Stand, Wall Street man.
That's what you called him?
Yeah, I mean, I was joking with him.
Were you?
How's that beach house rehab working out for you?
I have this demon. It tells me that drinking and using is gonna make it all okay again. Fear. Just, fear of losing my daughter. But Becca, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you.
His dad was a dick.
I know, but come on now. I have a fear of not working in my business.
I had another client leave me for another agent. Do you want to leave me too?
Your dad in there?
Yeah, he really needs his commercial.
Oh, and if you are booked, that belly needs to be shaved. This is a medical industrial, not searching for Bigfoot.
You've been in this business a long time, Eli. You know that it runs in cycles.
Action.
You two can now try to recover from wallowing depression by stabbing yourself with a marker for an audition you're 20 years too young for. Just look at the mistakes. Same mistakes.
I'm gonna be late.
It's okay. We're gonna be fine. We just got the cab. I gotta go.
You're lying to her. We're not in a cab.
Hey, we will make it. I promise.
What, you could have asked for a different time?
It doesn't work out that way.
I don't care how it works. That's not Becca's problem. That's yours.
I struggled after that show ended, but I thought we were doing well again when you ended.
Eli, Nick proposed the other night, and I accepted. We just set a date.
And in the back of my mind, it felt great to fail. Felt comfortable.
You always told me not to try to do everything all at once. And now you're trying to do it.
And now I'm missing out on everything.
Bye, Dad. Love you. Gotta go.
Hey, Becca, I love you too.
Family time.